Hey, what's up guys, Matt Shiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today, the CSGO market is going absolutely wild. We're seeing some very interesting things. We're going to be breaking down that and more, but first, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, GamerPay. The sponsor for today's video is GamerPay. Now, GamerPay is the super quick and easy way to pick up some brand new CSGO skins. Now, the thing I like about GamerPay is they have a 5% fee, but you can avoid 50% of that, only taking a 2.5% fee by using your actual balance on the site. And if you want to avoid that fee altogether, once in a while they'll run promotions where they have a 0% fee. Buying is super easy. All you have to do is click a couple buttons like create trade on Steam, and it's going to automatically set up the trade. All you have to do is click and confirm. And the greatest thing is if you head onto your profile, you can actually change it so you're not looking at Steam market prices, but rather buff prices, and you can still see the significant discount you're going to be getting. And make sure you go ahead and check out GamerPay with the top link in the description, and let's hop on into it. Now, the CSGO market is starting to get very interesting. After the 10-year anniversary update, or very big lack thereof for a major game update, we really didn't see too much on the Steam market. Everything kind of fizzled out, and this was to be expected considering throughout the entire summer we had prolonged growth, or at the very least not going down in prices, that it was very common and very to be expected that this would eventually catch up. Everyone was anticipating this 10-year anniversary update was going to be huge, and when it wasn't, the market came down with it. But now it's very interesting because we're starting to see quite the opposite, and in my opinion, for some items like the breakout case we're going to get to in just a second, you could even say that the market has flipped. We're starting to see the front runner of all cases being the breakout case going up in price very quickly, peaking at almost $5 the other day. We're going to be breaking down what specifically is going on and what potentially this means for you. Now, heading on to Price Stalker EU, it's a great website. I definitely suggest you check it out, but it's quite obvious what's going on here. Someone was buying up a mass amount of the breakout cases where our listings, or the quantity put on the market, went from around 12,000 all the way down to 4,000 at the bottom. We've also seen this with a couple other cases, but the main big one is actually the fracture case. The fracture case, you can see here on Price Stalker EU how sharply this decline has happened. It was just in the past day where it went from 215,000 to 140,000 in the span of just a couple hours. Now, I've talked a pretty decent amount about everything going on in the market, and you might think that this is just everyone coming together realizing the buying opportunity is there, but it's not, especially for one big reason. There's a YouTuber by the name of TradeLink who just released their video talking about how much profit they've made investing into CSGO. Long story short, he's invested about 1.6k euro, I believe, and he's got around 10,000 euro in items, which is a very good profit. But the main reason I bring this up is TradeLink has a past, and it's not necessarily a pretty good past and a pretty good look for him, but every time he's released this video, he has manipulated the market in an extreme way. See, in one of my past videos talking about the Chinese New Year, I thought that the Spectrum 2 case rose in 2020 due to the Chinese New Year, but I was only informed that it was due to TradeLink because of his investment video later on. If any of you guys ever see something like this, feel free to call me out. Always call me out if something is incorrect. But I never knew about TradeLink up until this point, and now looking deeper into him, you can definitely see that he has a past where I don't think he's specifically trying to do so, but it always happens when you go on YouTube and you talk about how you 5 or 6x'd your money in just a couple years. People are interested, people are engaged, and people want that for themselves. Now, I had to bring this up because I knew it was going to come up pretty decently in the comments, and it's definitely something that I believe has played an impact, especially when we're looking at the fracture case. But the thing is, the other cases, like the breakout case, was already on the decline if you look at the listings before this video came out. This video came out 9 hours ago as when I'm recording this video, and looking at the graph of the breakout case on Price Stalker EU, you can see that it was already on the decline well before that. Now, I bring this up for one main reason. TradeLink is most likely responsible for the decrease in the amount of fracture cases on the market. Fracture cases are cheap, they're one of the cheapest on the market, and they're very accessible to pick up for a cheap price point. You can pick up a couple hundred of them for relatively low amounts of money, and this is why I believe his viewers were most likely attracted to the fracture case. But the thing is, I would be willing to bet that there was another influence for the breakout case, and in fact we can see that on the graph, that the decline in quantity happened before the actual video was released. And I bring this up because a lot of people are going to contribute this decline in quantity to the TradeLink video. They're going to look that TradeLink made a video, the decline for the fracture case, and they're going to associate every other case with it. But the thing is, it's different for the breakout case. That's what I'm trying to stress here, is it's very obvious to see that the breakout case was different because of some other factor, and that's really what we're struggling to figure out. But it's very interesting that we're starting to see the past market trends really fade away. For a while, we saw the summer was a big time for prices to decrease, and the winter is when these prices were going to increase. But this summer, we've seen it where the prices have bare minimum stayed the same, and it almost leads me to believe that we're entering into like a new stage of CSGO investing, a new era, so to say, because we're seeing so many things change that were just staples of the past. We saw major investing for the first time ever. This was not a profitable major at any point other than one specific capsule. Even RMR was profitable for a bare minimum of a couple weeks. This is very important because this is a brand new change. People thought that they could at least sell off for a 5 or 10 cent profit. Now, this is not necessarily going to be guaranteed moving forward, and it wasn't guaranteed, but it was something that was just so reliably correct that there's definitely something to say about it. But now we're entering into that new era where that's not guaranteed. We also talk about cases. Cases usually were down during the summer. Now they're not. That's something that's going to be very interesting moving forward, is if we're just going to see things that are stagnating or going up. There's not really a major period where they're going to be down for an extended period of time. Maybe an operation that's going to be very interesting to see if people are still interested in an operation. And in my opinion, I'm going to be using the active duty cases to gauge how people are interested in during this operation. We saw during Operation Riptide, the clutch case fell almost 50%, which is absolutely crazy considering the clutch case is usually something that holds not only a lot of investor demand, but unboxing demand as well. And unboxing demand did not fall during these times. Therefore, it had to be investor demand or just a significantly higher player count that was responsible for the decrease of the clutch case in price. So it's going to be very interesting, and it's something that I'm going to be using to gauge investor demand overall during the next operation. And then I've got some other news that I really don't know where to throw it in. So basically, the Rocks Hollow capsule, or the Contenders autograph capsule from Antwerp 2022, has got some news about Rocks the player. Now, Rocks is a player for 9Z, or at least he was, because he's no longer active in the 9Z roster. This is very important because this means that most likely this sticker is not going to be returning for Rio 2022, which could potentially have some major implications. Now, at least at this time, I'll be surprised. I thought the market was going to react at least a little bit and the price of this sticker would shoot up at least somewhat, but it doesn't really seem like there's too much of that going on. The overall sticker capsule has remained relatively untouched. It's still sitting below that base price of 25 cents. Currently it's at 24 cents, so it's close enough, but I'm just very surprised that we really haven't seen too much going on with this, especially since it was very hyped in the beginning. But that's really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you have a great rest of your day.